Hey, what's going on, guys? Alex here, making sure I'm wearing my mask. Rona free. But, so, fishing report time, guys. We have a lot of stuff to go over and what's been hot out there. Fishing has actually been pretty decent all around the area. But first, a couple reminders. Pencils a bit. Make sure you come by. You have until Sunday, May 10th for the great savings on a lot of the pen combos and reels that we have here. And you can get up to 200 yards of free braid with any other pen products that you purchase here. Other than that, remember, now you're legal. You can actually go out there and fish. Recreational fishing's open now, so that's also great news. And remember, Mother's Day is also Sunday, so don't forget to get your mom something so you don't get in trouble. So come by, have all kinds of stuff for you guys, so get some gifts and whatnot. And we're fully open, obviously. Now let's get into the fishing. Trolling. That's been hot. That's been pretty much the most productive way to fish for all these keeper-sized rockfish in the area. Right now, remember, is one fish over 35 until May 15. Other than that, let's get to the spots. Guys from Chesapeake Beach have been producing some good fish right in front of the Chesapeake Beach area, around the channel edges. Most of the guys that are doing really well are fishing the gas ducks and towards the mouth of the Patuxent and the Potomac River, so that's way down south. Other than that, people fishing this area here in Thomas Point, Bloody Point, have been producing some fish. Nothing too crazy like down south, but there is fish all around throughout the area. Now, have not heard of anything from Loft Point or Predictor Point or anything like that, but most of the guys are not really fishing there. I don't know why. There is fish up here. Those fish are moving out, obviously, so you are catching some post-spawn fish and some late spawners right now. Hot colors, white. White has been the hottest color right now from what I've heard from everybody down south all the way up to here. Tandems have been producing some fish. Obviously, anything that you can run is going to be great. And now, if you guys don't like to run, let's say, umbrellas, but you want something that gives you that look, I always recommend to run a daisy chain. It's like an inline version of an umbrella. Less drag. You can pretty much use this in whatever water depth by adding inline sinkers to that. So remember, if you're out there and you're using lighter spreads, heavy weighted lures, take a whole bunch of double snap swivels and some extra weights in different weight sizes for your inline so you can control the depth of that. So, with that saying, tide, haven't heard anything about tide making a big difference here or there, but fishing early in the morning, first light or afternoon has been better, and especially in semi-cloudy days. That's where you're going to catch some of those rockfish when they kind of come up a little bit on the water column. Most people are fishing 40 foot of water and deeper, so make sure you keep an eye on that. But also some reports of people catching them in a little bit shallow water inside some of the points. But remember, you cannot go into the rivers and troll right now, so you really have to check where the line is, the cutoff line. If not, you're going to get in trouble with DNR. Now, chumming, chunking, circle hooks, must use them. You got to have them. Lots of catfish still around this area. Heard of a lot of people fishing the Hickory Point in that general area, and not many people actually doing it up like in Loft Point yet, but Tollies, Hackett's Point, all those typical areas have been producing some fish, but it's not as productive yet. A lot of the guys that do get into fish have been catching a lot of catfish. It's either on and off, and remember, you got to check your tide, either outgoing or ingoing tide, and also check the wind so you know that it's not going to be pushing the tide against each other and then pretty much no tide movement at all. So keep that in mind. Now, other than that, white perch has been picking up too in the middle sections of the rivers towards the main bay area, and we are going to start seeing white perch in shallow probably within the next 2 weeks here, all throughout the area here in the bay. So perch pounders, rooster tails, all your classic lures are going to be the way to go, and that's going to be hot for you guys. Now, besides that, what's going on in the ocean? We are getting a lot of reports from people down in Ocean City. Ocean City fishing has been actually pretty productive for tog. Other than that, green crabs, sand fleas, all that for tog and inlet has been good. And we got reports of the first bluefish schools moving into the inlet and in the back bay. Nothing crazy. Heard of a few fish over 30 inches, but nothing steady, mainly your snapper blues, shad, and also rockfish. Remember, rockfish regulations are different in the ocean than in the bay. So keep that in mind. I believe it's one fish between 28 inches and 35 inches. And that's it, just one per person. And that's throughout the year. So that fishery down in Ocean City is getting hot. It's actually getting pretty good, and it will get better out there. Spec rigs off the Route 50 bridge will work. Gotcha plugs or typical metals and jigs will be awesome for, you know, pretty much fishing off the Route 50 bridge, and also off the inlet. Surf fishing has been okay, nothing crazy, a couple of rockfish here and there. And Aztec State Park is open now. And I believe the beaches are supposed to be opening this weekend, or if not already open, they might have opened today, so you can go out there and fish. Black drum. There's some guys catching them up in Delaware, and some in the lower section of Chesapeake, which you cannot get to right now. But they're there. Sea clams are the best thing to work with. That's going to be productive here in the next few weeks. Everything's happening right now. And let's get to your snakehead fishing. Pretty much as of now, we got a whole bunch of reports of fish pretty much on the pre-spawn, spawning and whatnot. And of course we hit a full moon, and those fish actually shut down pretty bad during a full moon based on, you know, some of the stuff we've seen here in the last few years. So give it a week or two and there should be spawning, full spawn. It might get a little tough for you guys. Minnows will work pretty good, and besides that, topwater frogs were hot this past week. White and some paddle tails were also pretty productive. So let me show you guys some stuff that I've been using out there. Spro, white frogs, they were hot, popping frogs. Keep them really close to the grass, don't move them way too fast out. They will work really good for you guys. Other than that, bus baits, they were pretty hot too, producing some good fish last week. So that's pretty much what's going on with the snakeheads. Shad fishing is still pretty decent throughout the area, and pretty much that's it for this week's fishing report, guys. Remember Mother's Day and Sunday, it's the end of the Penn Sales event. Come by, pick up some stuff for your mom, and pretty much we'll see you guys next week. Make sure to send us your pictures and reports and tight lines. You guys have a good one.